This is Paul Turner, the Immigration Barrister at Imperium Chambers. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button for up-to-date immigration news as it happens. And if you have an immigration problem, please get in touch with me and I'll do my best to help you. Today I'm reporting on yet another humiliating defeat for Priti Patel and her dreadful new immigration bill, as the government suffered a number of defeats in the House of Lords, which is scrutinising her insane plans. As anyone who's watched my videos knows, the bill goes way further than anything else has done in the past. Of one of the many things that it seeks to do is it is to criminalise asylum seekers, as well as bringing in a raft of other unpleasant and potentially illegal measures designed basically to make migrants' lives a misery and to try and discourage them from coming to the United Kingdom, something which is in conflict with what the government says about helping out Ukrainians. What I would say, as I mentioned, is anyone that is uncertain about their immigration status or is here illegally, is to get in touch with me before this bill actually passes into law, as it's going to make getting your status a lot more difficult. Alternative, if you just are uncertain about things and you want a second opinion or some advice, then do get in touch with me. Now, turning to the House of Lords and what happened to the immigration bill. Well, there were a number of defeats. The most important defeat was the removal of a crucial plank of the government's immigration strategy that would have criminalised refugees who arrive in the United Kingdom through an irregular route. And of course, we know that's how they all have to arrive, given the limited number of other ways of getting here. Clause 11 of the bill would have allowed refugees to be divided into two categories based on how they arrived in the United Kingdom. Peers, members of the House of Lords, voted by 204 to 126, defeating the clause by a majority of 78. If the clause had remained, people who had made their way to the United Kingdom would have been given an inferior form of protection with more limited rights compared with those that arrived through government-sanctioned routes. And as I've mentioned, there aren't really very many of them, nor any plans to introduce them. What this would mean in practice is those arriving in the United Kingdom by an illegal route, such as a small boat across the channel or in a lorry, could have their asylum claim ruled as inadmissible, receive a jail sentence of up to 4 years, have no recourse to public funds, and could have their family members barred from joining them. This is hardly in step with what the government says about helping out Ukrainian refugees, but this is the reality of it. The second major defeat that the government suffered was the defeat in relation to the deprivation of citizenship without notice. The House of Lords amended the bill to scrap a controversial measure that would allow people to be stripped of their British citizenship without any warning. So if you went on holiday and the government didn't like you, they would take your passport away and you wouldn't be allowed back. Under existing law, deprivation of citizenship can be carried out for those people who are considered to pose a threat to the UK, including the war on terrorism or war crimes, or if they obtained their citizenship fraudulently. The bill was supposed to enable citizenship to be removed without notice if it would not be reasonably practical and in the interest of national security, without defining what reasonably practical would mean. So that would mean the government would have a wide discretion, which is dangerous given this government. The third defeat relates to the Chagos Islanders. I've done a video on that yesterday. They were forced to be removed from their homes, the Biot, and as a consequence, a great number are denied nationality solely because they were not born in the Chagos Islands, due to the fact that the government exiled them from the Chagos Islands, rather a catch-22 situation. This video highlights that there is resistance to the new immigration bill, not just by members of the public and various charities, but also in the House of Lords itself. And the House of Lords is there to supervise and make sure that any bill is essentially lawful, and they therefore have the opportunity of amending, which is what they have done by seeking to remove certain pejorative clauses. Where we are now is that the matter will then go back to the House of Commons, and we will see how the government will deal with what the House of Lords have said. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, If you have any uncertainty about your immigration status, or you're not sure where you stand or whether you can bring family members over, then please get in touch with me or another reputable lawyer and get some proper advice. I say this because there are a number of not so good lawyers, and often I find clients coming to me after they've been badly let down. Now, the situation is likely to change. The bill is likely to be passed in some form. It is likely to make things harder for people to settle in the United Kingdom. Therefore, I would advise anyone who wants to stay in the United Kingdom and doesn't have a visa to act now rather than later when it might be more difficult. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it's been informative. Please stay safe, look after your families, and please again subscribe to my channel. Thank you again for watching. This is Paul Turner, the Immigration Barrister at Imperium Chambers.